Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 107 of the Nomads of Fantasy. My name is Brandon. I am your host for this episode, but I'm not going to outer space alone. I also brought with me two other guys. Eric?
Tell you one thing about the universe, though. Universe is a pretty big place. Bigger than anything anyone has ever dreamed of before. If it's just us, seems like an awful waste of space, right?
So deep.
Touching.
Beautiful.
Yes, and also Dave.
It turns out there's life on other planets. Boy, this is going to really change the Miss Universe contest. You know what I mean?
Oh, God. Was that the Jay Leno quote?
What's the Jay Leno
Jay
joke?
Leno sucks.
I love how they dropped all the real life people in this, though.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah, a lot of weird cameos going on.
Yeah, so this is, these are quotes from the movie Contact by Robert Zemeckis from
Yes, sir.
1997, starring Jodie Foster. You got Matthew McConaughey, a few stars in this one, but I guess I didn't realize Zemeckis made a lot of movies. I don't think I ever really bothered looking beyond, I knew his name, but I know his work.
Right.
I
Yeah,
was
of course.
Yeah.
I'm a dummy. For some reason I thought, no, I guess I knew that Spielberg didn't direct Back to the Future, but I kind of assumed he did, but I don't know. But he did that. He did the Back to the Future movies.
It was the same with, Forrest Gump.
Future,
Forrest Gump is one of my
Forrest Gump.
favorite
Cast
movies
Framed
of all
Roger
time.
Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Like,
I mean, this guy's
the
got some heavy
Polar
hitters.
Express, Beowulf.
I think
He got
that's
caught
a
with
good
the
one.
CG later on. He did that
Yeah.
horrible movie Pinocchio,
Yeah.
but his early stuff was really good.
I think some of the movies between Spielberg and Zemeckis get conflated because they did a lot of work together. I know they did work on Forrest Gump together and stuff like that. So I can see how you might think it would be Spielberg.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zemeckis, great body of work.
Yeah, incredible. And what's really cool is I'm kind of a fan of Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
And I just think the guy's really interesting, and the more I learn about him, the more I really, really wish that he was around a lot longer than when he passed away at age 62. But he's just this incredibly interesting guy who really pushed interest into outer space with his delivery and his love for it. Did not know he was from Harvard, switched to Cornell, got really into just learning about space, and wrote a book, and that's what Contact is based off of, this movie, off of this novel he did with his wife. That Contact is based off of. It might be called Contact, I don't know. But anyways, just super cool. And I guess when you see this movie, it's a giant love letter to, obviously it's based off his book, but they say thank you, his name's on it,
Mm-hmm. That was cool tribute.
So it's just, yeah. But anyways, I know other people like this movie. I think we got a couple comments on it from Twitter, but we also asked another fun question, because how can you not ask this question? It's a big question, especially now with the news and what's been going on as of this recording in early summer of 2023. Aliens, UFOs,
It's in the
UAPs.
news.
UAPs.
Yeah.
It's a fun time to be a alien person. I mean,
An alien person.
I don't know. A believer. I don't want to say a believer, but an ancient astronaut theorist. What do you want to call us?
I don't know. Yeah, believer is a good word. I mean, I know.
Believes. Not a believer, though. That's a little different.
We have some different stances on this podcast. I think Dave and I are the believers, and Brandon might be the skeptic over there.
I'm the skeptic. I have a hard time believing. I'm like Jodie Foster in real life. I
You
just
need the proof. You need the facts.
I can't
Cold
just
hard
use
evidence.
faith. But yes, yeah.
And then,
But anyways, what's cool though is we had fun with this one, and we put it out there, and we have a couple stories that we can probably get into, and then we'll take a break and go and talk about the movie.
We'll start with Twitter, since those will be shorter. We got a couple comments on Twitter, mostly just asking about the movie. People gave their thoughts on the movie at Nomads of Fantasy. Driving D-Van, our good buddy, says Contact is a great movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I still think about the launch sequence and reference the okay to go line often.
that is a It's a good oh shit moment.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Tense moment there. And then only one more on Twitter from That's the Scuttlebutt. It says, love this movie. Foster was great, and her character's journey was a personal one that culminated at the end asking the big question, what is it that I believe? Great science fiction.
Absolutely.
Science fact.
Science fact. Over on our over on our Discord, if you want to join the nomadsofantasy.com/discord if you want to chat with us there. But we asked for thoughts on the movie and also any close encounters that any of our fellow nomads have had in our Discord before. And we did get a few stories.
They're great.
Yeah, I'll give a big shout out to Tejas here because he posted a really big long story. But first, his thoughts on the movie. On Contact, love this movie. It's great acting, and Jodie Foster has always been on my list of favorite actresses. The movie leaves me hopeful for life outside our known galaxy and understanding. And then he gives the quote that I did. We're the only ones out there. It seems like an awful waste of space. Always sticks with me. But yeah, this will be our quote unquote email section here because he posted 2 good stories here. And I think they're worth reading and discussing a little bit because they are interesting. So on UFOs, he says, I thought this was a dream until I mentioned it to my 2 sisters, and they told me they also have memories of this, describing things I didn't tell them. In the early 90s in wooded upstate New York, we were returning home after 9 p.m. and my father was looking up through the windshield, head craned, saying, "What is that?" He pulled off the side of the road directly across from my old elementary school, and we got out of the van. Above the park across the street was a completely silent, slowly rotating, greenish-hued, triangular ship, quote-unquote,
yes,
with red or maybe white lights at the corners. I distinctly remember walking across the road to get a better view, and the memory of my father and 2 sisters standing next to the van in a street light with the floating ship above is burned into my brain forever.
I would have to think so.
And then he goes on to say, shortly after it started moving away above the mountain. Upstate New York has slow sloping mountains. This mountain has a hang gliding ramp off of it. Yeah. The ship moved out and over the mountain, sped up, and split into 3, literally shooting off into 3 separate directions. I don't really remember anything after that.
Wow. I don't know where this is.
I would assume he's saying towards the mountains, so Adirondacks.
Yeah,
maybe.
So my wife is from Utica, and her family has a cabin out there at the base of the Adirondacks, and he's right. It is a very gradual build to these, but it's very out there, man. I mean, you can barely get a signal on your phone. Just trees and hills forever.
That's awesome.
He has another second story here. It's a second-hand one, not a first-hand experience. This one's a little shorter.
Yeah, this one was through his mother.
Yeah, he says, right? My mother lived in a 2-floor horseshoe-shaped building on the end of the tip, meaning she had windows on all 3 sides of her apartment. Okay. About 1 mile south from the previously mentioned school. One night, with her windows open and screens down, her cat started hissing like she had never done before and jumped in the window looking directly up. My mom had all the lights off before being late enough at the night. Excuse me. She said a bright beam came in through a window and moved up and over her apartment. Absolutely no sound outside from machines or anything. Cat hissing and growling, she went from one window to the other, clawing the screens, which my mom showed me after. The light came in another window, shut off, and the cat slowly calmed down after a bit. She says she wasn't scared, but damn if it didn't scare me to be told about it.
Dude, that sounds like some Schwarzenegger movie shit. I'd be hiding behind walls and
right.
Oh man, don't let them scan me.
Yeah, the light just streaming in from your window. Yeah,
I'm thinking one of those RoboCop lasers that just goes.
Well, the thing he says about it being completely silent too, no noise.
Right.
Because if it was
then.
Right, if it was a helicopter or some floodlights outside or something, you'd think you'd hear some sort of machinery or commotion going on, buzz, something like that. But yeah, just having this beam of light come through your window and it being the dead of night, completely silent, that's some freaky shit.
It's weird because not all unidentified aerial phenomenon is aliens. It could be the government,
right?
From full, they got shit tucked away in basements and stuff. Why they're scanning an apartment building in upstate New York, I have no fucking clue why they would do such a thing. But they're not all aliens.
Does Tejas' story make it convince you at all, Brandon? Or do you think he's a liar?
But it's a
You calling
No.
Tejas, one of our biggest fans, a liar?
I didn't say anything.
To his face. Tell him
No,
to his ears.
no, but like, there's no proof. There's no way he can prove any of it. It's just
Maybe
like
she was on
hearsay.
LSD. Maybe.
That's all. It's a good story. Like I'm rooting for there to be some. If it's not aliens, then maybe it could be the abyss, where like there's like this other species in the deep water or that lives in the clouds that we just can't see or something like that. Like there could be like some life on this planet we're just not seeing.
Multi-dimensional beings that are
Whatever, anything, dude. I mean, I want there to be these things. I just think people are lying all the time, And I also think like that story though, like I wouldn't say it's that would be lying. I mean, he's young. His dad maybe saw like they could have seen some helicopter, some military could have been drone. Who knows? They probably saw something. It's just hard to make that jump that it's.
Oh yeah, it could be.
The police didn't see it. The military didn't see it. The other like people who study the sky all the time, meteorologists, like weather people, nobody else saw it. But then like the areas that are remote, like he's talking about, make it a little bit easier to swallow. Same with Bigfoot,
well, that's what I was saying.
Bigfoot, but like if there would have been, it would be there. So I can't rule it out because it's
all that stuff.
You don't
impossible.
not believe in it.
All that like cryptozoology stuff is so interesting to me because there are just remote parts of the world that we have barely explored. We don't know what could be living out there or
after
what
like
is
the
out
James
there.
Webb telescope just is like proving that maybe the universe is older than we think, or there's something going on with like after the Big Bang, like that. There's something wrong with that theory now. Like they keep uncovering stuff. I want them to discover something. I think a lot of people lie. Like those.
Yeah, it's hard to sort through
Some people are weird about it, but
it's hard to sort through like what are people doing to seek attention and what are people actually seeing and telling the truth about. Maybe it's not extraterrestrial, but they saw something weird, something unexplainable.
The amount of doctored photos and like the fact that people go through the effort of doctoring photos and making fake UFO photographs and all that kind of crap just kind of spoils the water a bit. But I mean, now we have like congressional hearings about the government recovering spacecraft. Like shit is actually like, and this is coming from dudes.
Dave, what do you have on the back of your TV? It is like violent. What is that?
Oh, that is actually Indiana Jones and the Temple.
It is Indiana Jones. Okay, it looks super bloody with the screen on through your webcam.
Yeah, it's like a red tint.
Big head in the way. Sorry.
You get that if you're watching the video version.
It's not a very good
free Indiana Jones.
A quarter of it, quarter of the screen. You can see Short Round's head, but no UAPs. I mean, we have people that are in like government agencies, leaving government agencies and talking about how we already have this stuff and we already have everything. So, I mean,
I know more than ever before. Like serious like the channels are having serious conversations about it now, but like. There's a difference between there's things that we're seeing we don't know, and then
my thought is
aliens visiting us.
This whistleblower guy that is spouting all this information. Yeah, like if he was lying, I feel like it would do him more harm than good for him to come out with this huge story and just lie about every single thing that he's talking about. What would he be doing it for? Attention.
Yeah.
And if he was found out, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. Maybe he doesn't have anything to lose. But if he has like a family and stuff like that, why would he come out and lie about all this crap with the
crazy
knowing that people could find out? I guess
but this guy is so well decorated. Like he's a veteran. He served for the reconnaissance office for a couple of years.
This is the the debate. Like, is he telling the truth? Why would he do it? And like. Right, I know. I mean,
dude,
yes, time to create. Hopefully, this stuff like, they can push hard enough to like uncover some of it. Like the government has so much weird secret shit probably going on, anyways. Like this is probably the bit of it.
I mean, bringing it back to the movie, like it's the same sort of themes and plot that we see happen in the movie. Like, you know, Jodie Foster's character is claiming she saw something, and there's no way she can prove it. So, she just has to find some way to make people believe her.
That's all right. We can come back to that because I have issues with that.
Wait, there's one more funny story from Jake Iverson. I can't.
What up, Jake?
I can't forget this one, but it's a short one. He says, my UFO story. A couple years ago, my wife and good buddy were out on the deck. It was a warm summer day, perfect weather for day beers turned into night beers. We heard this crazy noise, like a loud vibration, and it was light enough outside to see something moving crazy quick around. No lights, but a silhouette in the sky. My buddy went nuts saying it was a UFO. We were all watching it for quite a while dart around until further investigation. It was a lot closer to the ground than we thought and turned out to just be a really big hummingbird.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like a depth perception.
Yep. Yeah. He says, as humorous, I can't say that word, humorous as it was, we are all very much believers in extraterrestrial life.
Right.
Yep. So, there you go.
Don't blame them.
We got a healthy mix of believers and non-believers. So
no, it's cool. No, it's cool. It's fun. Just have fun with the topic. Before we chew on the movie and talk more, I guess, about aliens and stuff. But before we do that, Dave, what are we watching next week?
Jaman. Next week it's going to be the first Nomad duo, I believe. You guys are watching Journey to the West.
At the moment, yes, unless somebody wants to come out as a guest.
I'm a little jealous. I may watch this during the week, and I may write an email into the podcast and kind of just spout some stuff out for you. But Journey to the West, it's I don't know how old it is. It's
relatively new, 2012 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. This latest
2013,
adaptation.
2013, okay.
Which it looks cool. So, but yeah, we've talked about that a couple of times. It's an old Chinese story. After that, for Independence Day, we're gonna watch V for Vendetta. Not quite the United States. I guess it's our independence from England. So I guess it's kind of funny that it's going the other way. But you know, we're nomads. We like to travel to other countries and see stuff. But
yeah.
Speaking of independence, I think we've all seen it. But it's
Natalie Portman.
It's been a while. It's been a while since
I've only seen it once.
That one. Me too.
Okay, good. It's been a long time. So and then after that, we get into July. We're watching Stand By Me after that. Stephen King classic, which, I mean, you know, we like to switch up our kind of genre that we watch and jump from Schwarzenegger to Contact to anime. So, keep shaking it up and, we'll put out a schedule.
Well, we wanted to have fun with the summer. Not that movie's fun, but just like that's a summer movie.
It's a summer movie.
It's a coming of age, like summer story for sure.
Yeah. You know.
So that
you want to go find some dead bodies. You guys want to see a dead body?
The morbid curiosity of a child. Yeah.
Sure. The kid actors in that are all great too. Like I remember it being great. It's been a while since I've seen it, so. But no, that's what we got going into July. We'll have a calendar out on Twitter around the beginning of the month.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, thanks. Well, then let's adjust our angle on the satellite and see if we can get a better signal. We'll take a break. We'll strap into our chair, into our dome, and then we'll shoot off into another dimension. I'm assuming that's where she was going.
Ready to go.
Okay to go.
Ready to go.
Okay
to go. There it is.
Okay to go.
We're okay to go. All right, we are back, and we're gonna talk about a movie called Contact. I know we were getting a little carried away with all that alien talk, but how can you not? There's just a lot to say when you see a movie like this. What I really appreciated seeing this movie probably since 1997, was how serious they took it. Like this seems
Very realistic.
pretty realistic.
Yeah,
So
it's
props to
believable.
Carl Sagan and then the crew that made the movie. Like it was a nice ride. It's slow in the beginning. I mean, I totally dozed off in the beginning of this movie, and I had to kind of pick it up the next day.
It's a slow
But once
burn.
it gets going, your heart is kind of like racing a little bit and to the grand finale. So
After that first radio message, like, yeah, that's after that, you kind of just, I mean, before that, it's all kind of character development for
a lot.
Jodie Foster's character, Dr.
Ellie.
Arroway.
Yes.
Ellie. Here, Ellie, I always think of Jurassic Park, but.
Oh, I think of Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought this is one of the movies that I may have seen a long time ago, but like over the years, just Malted hops and bong resin have clogged my brain, and I just completely wiped this one away. But it's got that cool intersection of like realistic science talking with, religious faith, and then politics kind of all mixed in together, and that's what kind of makes it a bit real, because you could see things happening in this fashion, so it makes it, I don't know, a little more interesting than just like people running around shooting laser blasters at each other. This is more of like a documentary of what would happen.
I think this is probably the perfect time for this movie to have been made, because if this movie was made today with the internet the way it is, like, they would just be completely focused on, like, people going crazy on social media, making fucking TikToks and, viral videos, which, whatever, that's a different take on it. But I like that it was in the era, like, right before all the huge internet shit hit. Like, this was, like, straight up, I like the 90s technology. They're using Netscape to video chat.
Yeah.
I love that. Those, and the big chunky computer monitors, and like just all the big old 90s technology. But yeah, this was the first time I saw this movie. And it's a lot, I guess it's a lot different than I thought it would be. Like, I didn't know really at all what it was going to be like going in. I didn't know it was going to be like this more realistic take on like aliens.
Did you think more of an
sci-fi
adventure?
I was thinking more adventure action, like they were going to be going out and, like, I don't know, meeting the aliens on their planet and like fighting them and whatever. But no, I was pleasantly surprised that it was this much more like grounded take on
very grounded.
What would happen if we discovered, there was life out there on a different planet? Like, how would society react? How would all these religious groups and politicians react, and how would we, handle it? So yeah, I thought it was really good.
It's got a lot of cool characters, like interesting characters, like oh my god, Drumlin. Oh, what is his name? I got the list here.
David Drumlin.
David Drumlin.
What a prick!
What a douche! The whole time he's like pushing her down, and then she finally has this massive breakthrough, and he starts taking credit for it.
He just instantly was like,
fucking
"Yep,"
prick.
To the point till he gets him killed. Like, sorry, there's a spoiler there. Like, please go watch it if you have any interest in seeing a more serious take on if humans contacted aliens. But
I don't think he deserved to die at all, but
no, but you're.
But like,
no villain in the movie. He's really like the only antagonist really in the movie.
Yeah.
And,
because he's the one that's either he's stealing the credit or he's shutting down in the beginning. He shuts down the survey thing that they got going down in the jungle.
That's their funding. Yep.
Yeah.
But then he swoops back in and takes credit for it. I was like, oh, that motherfucker. I called him Mr. Mustache because I couldn't remember his name.
Mustache.
What did you think of Matthew McConaughey's character?
I thought he was great. Like, I also wasn't expecting
Palmer
him.
Joss, or
Palmer Joss, Reverend Joss, if you will.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting him to play like the religious figure in this movie.
I'm the man of the cloth, except minus the cloth. I was like, you smooth talking.
He's just
son of a bitch.
I didn't know that was an option.
It's weird seeing him in that role, but it kind of works for him because he's like a more modern take on like the the religious man. Like he's not. He even said
more...
like he studied whatever spirituality or theology or whatever it was, but he didn't want to become a priest because he
couldn't take the celibacy.
He didn't. Yeah, exactly.
Like this dude fucks. We all know
he fucks.
Like,
that's
right. I mean, he's a handsome guy. I mean,
right.
Like, come on, God wouldn't make me this handsome just to give it all, right?
Right. He has his faith, and yeah, for good reason too. I like that we got a little bit of his backstory because like he wasn't really a believer at first, but then he had this life-changing experience which sort of made him a believer, which obviously is the entire thing with Ellie. It kind of mirrors her experience later on, but yeah, I thought him and Ellie were a good pair. Like they were sort of opposites, but in this case opposites did attract, with they had different ideologies, but like the way they went about them was in a similar fashion. They
respected each other.
Yeah, exactly. They respected each other's beliefs, right?
But this came out in 97. I'm looking at Matthew's IMDb page. His first thing is an Unsolved Mysteries episode in 1992.
Oh shit.
So this
I
is
love
like
Unsolved Mysteries.
Early in his early in his career. Like he's got a couple things on here, but it doesn't look like anything really like serious. He's got Dazed and Confused and a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, but
this was his first like big major role.
It seems like it was like probably his first like serious look at me, I'm an actor, and he's just popping out of the woodwork constantly in this movie, just like, hey.
He's still the same guy though. Like he's the same dude in every movie.
To a meeting at the White House about contacting aliens. He just shows up. Sorry, I'm late. Let me interject here. He he has like the perfect timing. You can tell it's a novel though.
Yeah.
Like you can, if you read novels, like you can see how, because there's a whole other layer with Hammond. Oh, what is that guy's name? The really rich guy, the billionaire.
Haddon. Just like
there.
It's like the Tesla. He's
yes.
Eccentric billionaire.
Yep.
And I just fucking lives in space.
Okay. Yeah, but he's like funding her and pushing her along. Yeah, it's just like this character, like that's something you would read in a book or something. There's so many characters.
Really weird, creepy, like Bond villain vibe from him. When you first meet him, he's just like on his airplane that he never lands and is always moving.
He's like, "There's nothing left on the ground for me. I'm just gonna live in the air now."
What the fuck? Who does that?
Yeah.
But then his like backstory on Ellie, where he like knows everything about her and said that her dad was like I got some weird vibes from that. Like, was her dad a plant that like set her up to be?
I was thinking the same
thing.
An astronomer. Yeah, I kind of had that thought too. The way he was explaining it made it seem like her dad set her on this path. It
was like he was a plant. Like he wasn't her real dad or something like that.
It was
like
it was a weird vibe. Yeah, I got that impression too when he first met up with Ellie.
So it's interesting you say that, because I also was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how
is her dad an alien?
When her dad died, she ran to go get medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like he stopped taking his medicine, or unless you bulk up, I don't know. But like he died of a specific heart attack, and he had all that medicine there, and I was like, should there be that many?
I mean, he had he's got to have a stat. He had what? So it was nitroglycerin was the medicine, which is for like pulmonary heart disease or whatever. So damn. If you stop taking it, you're fucked.
Okay. All right. Because like, I wonder if he did this on purpose because of something bigger. All right, but then that makes sense then.
Yeah, Ellie got dealt a pretty bad hand. I mean, her mother died in childbirth. Her dad was the only one that she had, and then I thought it was so weird and like a little bit unrealistic. Like when her dad died and they were having like the wake at their house, who was taking care of her at that point? She was just by herself.
Ignore her.
Yeah,
I know.
It was so weird.
It was very weird.
She was just on her own.
Or a cousin or a grandmother, anybody.
No relatives.
Next to you the whole day. Like,
is she just living in this house by herself now, taking care of herself?
Yeah. She just goes on the radio and just starts talking to complete strangers.
Yeah.
One other character I want to hit on that stood out to me. I think this might be a debut, but James Woods,
Oh my
his
gosh,
character is
James
Michael
Woods.
Kitts.
Yeah.
So he's always like a guy you just want to punch in the face.
Yeah.
At least to me he is. Like, I like the actor. If he's been in some pretty good roles, but this movie, so smug.
Well,
Such
if you told me he was a dick in real life, I would believe it. Which he may very well be. I'm not sure.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. That's all I could think of.
I only think of fucking Hades from Hercules when I hear that voice. That's all I can think of. But
he's Hades.
Yeah, from Hercules. Yeah, Disney.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell by his voice. And then I guess I'll call out Willem Fichtner. That guy is from Buffalo, like us.
Is that the blind guy?
He's the blind. He is the blind guy in the movie. Yeah.
What else is he in? I know he's
in the beginning of Dark Knight.
Okay.
He was in Armageddon. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of
He's
stuff.
one of those guys that you see all the time, but he never stars in anything. Yeah.
Never the lead.
I felt that way about Ellie's dad in this, David Morse.
Yes.
Like,
yes, same type of character.
Guy.
I've seen his face in 1,000 things, but yeah, it's tough. But yeah, it was kind of cool that with some Buffalo people.
Angela Bassett or Bassett, who was like the president's aide.
Oh yeah,
yep,
she was good.
So that was pretty cool. Jake Busey. Looks just like his dad. Just like that mouth of his.
Yep.
Plays a pretty important
creepy looking
part. Yeah.
Fuck.
I was wondering because he looked super familiar, and I couldn't tell where he's from, but he does have that Busey face.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So he's been around. He's been doing things for a while, and then obviously you have the lead, which is Jodie Foster, she was great.
Yeah.
She had to sell some scenes. She did a pretty good job. Like when she's in that unit at the very end, and she's got to shake and like, all right, I could see this. She's trying to be very like scientific and like focused on her mission.
Yeah,
but like she's really just got a camera in front of her. They're doing a lot of CG around her to like make it seem like she's going places. So it's like she did a pretty good job because everything else is more or less just like character driven. Her talking to people.
She had a couple good dramatic scenes.
Yeah, when she's trying to get money from those people.
Right, that's the one I was thinking of.
Starts to snap. Yeah, that's the one. And she's got that. I don't know. I never thought she was like super hot or anything, like attractiveness wise, but she's very believable in her roles, and she's got that like she can be a nasty bitch when she wants to.
She's a strong female character for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's a great lead. I mean, Jodie Foster's one of the big names. Yeah, this is a good role for her. She had to do a lot of facial expressions, trying to holding things in and being intense. Like, you fucking are talking to aliens. What are we doing here? And everybody's just like, in her eyes, just like, it's obviously me. Put me in charge. She keeps calling the right things. Like, she is an expert. She's literally dedicated her life to this, and she finally gets a hold of aliens.
Every time there's a puzzle to solve, she's the one solving it too.
Yeah.
Like,
or that rich guy.
Yeah, he helped.
Yeah.
But
which was really cool. I love the aliens like sending us information and they're trying to decipher it. I love that cracking the code, and
that was really cool.
They figure that out
because it started out, they just hear the signal, and then it sort of builds as you go because they notice like it's a pattern. Oh shit, these are prime numbers, and then all of a sudden like, oh, there's other channels. There's a fucking radio or a TV broadcast coming through. And it's Hitler, like the 1936 Olympics.
The intro. What'd you guys think of that intro? I thought this was a great intro.
That was cool. Where they're
galaxy.
Yeah, because they were. Well, it was. I don't know if you noticed. Like
universe.
They zoomed out. So when they were started at Earth, it was like modern radio transmissions. But the further you got out, the further you went back in time, which makes sense since the radio waves that are way out in space are like old from like, this Hitler broadcast from 1936 or whatever. And this is what the aliens are receiving on whatever it was, whatever the star was called, Vega.
Yeah, Vega, because they call them vegans.
Yeah, right. Well, they call them vegans, but the subtitle said like vegans. I'm like, oh, well, that's weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was cool. I like the intro, and it was like, it was weird because I don't know if they were trying to do this. At one point, they kept zooming out in the intro, and it went like silent, and there wasn't any radio transmissions or anything. And then all of a sudden, it comes in with this huge like blast of noise. So that gave me a little jump scare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
at
like
the beginning of that.
very
Same
loud.
thing too.
Yeah, but
I know because I was like turning the volume down. Like, what
Get
the
your
hell?
fucking
And then I had to
attention.
turn it back up after that for the rest of the movie. Yeah, but I thought that was just a long intro. Like they're trying to make a point with this movie. Like
they take their
the
time.
universe is people.
It's a big
Here's the thing that I've learned with people who struggle understanding. I gotta be careful with my words here, but let's say people who think the world is flat or they think that the Earth is only like 5,000 years old or whatever.
Dum-dums.
It's
Dum-dums.
I think it's a lack of understanding the scale of things, like how
Right.
big things really are. Because people look and they're like, how could it be that big? But like the moon is so far. I don't know how true this is, but I've tried to look it up on I don't know like some websites. But I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But the moon is so far from Earth that if you could pull all the planets together, you could put them in between Earth and the moon. That's including Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Those are big ass planets.
Yeah.
That's how far our moon is. That's our moon. Then to go to Mars,
Okay.
that's so far. So it's just things are really big. That's what they're trying to show in that intro. How fucking big the universe
That is correct. That is correct. You can fit all of the planets in between the Earth and the Moon, but you have to tilt Saturn at a 45-degree angle to make it fit.
For the rings to fit, yeah.
For the rings to fit.
Okay.
But yes, you could.
Dude, yeah, that perspective. Yeah, wow. with that zoom out too. Yeah, because it starts obviously on Earth, zooms out to our solar system, then the Milky Way, and then once they get out of our galaxy, you just see like millions and millions of other galaxies out there, and then
each of those galaxies has millions of planets.
Exactly, millions of solar systems.
It's crazy.
When you actually start to think about it and consider it, like it hurts your brain. It scares you a little bit.
But it's a good way to start get your head in the right headspace,
right.
So you can understand what she's trying to solve. It's like knowing it's that big.
Mm-hmm.
That's that was all. I mean, the main quote of this movie, like if it is just us out here, it's a lot of wasted space. Like that's what I've always thought about when I think about like there has to be intelligent life somewhere out there, even in this huge, vast universe that we live in. Like
even if it's a 0.0000001% chance, like there are that many planets out there that like there's probably multiples.
Right. Like, I can't believe, much like Ellie in this movie, I can't accept the fact that it's just us in this huge, like, endless universe. And that's kind of where
that's the science aspect of it, but then you get to the faith aspect of it, which is, some people believe in divine creation, so, they just think it's just us. So, and I actually looked it up because they had a thing like 95% of the world believes in a higher power or something like that. And I actually Googled it.
It can't be that high.
As of 2010,
I was going to say, maybe it's lower nowadays.
84% as of 2010.
And like, that's ambiguous too, like some higher power. That doesn't necessarily mean Christianity, God, or specific religion or specific religion. It's just
plopped everybody down on the earth.
You think there's something else going on than what's going on?
Right, mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. I get that. No, the religious part, I mean, I don't believe in gods, and I don't believe in aliens coming to Earth.
I mean, Dave and I both grew up Catholic. I don't know about you, Brandon, but
yeah, but
I did a little bit.
I don't believe in it anymore. I had a born-again
Christian and family, and I'm very aware of the thought process of all that stuff. But like, I ask myself this often, because I do think about this stuff. Like, if there is a God, then he's letting all these bad things happen, and all these good things happen. And it's just like, that is very scary because he's in control of our lives. And do I like that? And then it's like, but if there's not a God, and this is it, and we are just like either like this fluke on this planet, or we do exist, but we're like so far away from each other that we'll never be able to talk to each other.
Light years away.
It's just like, which one's scarier to me? Because it's like it's gonna be one of those scenarios, I think. And
that's what this movie brings up too. That's exactly why religion is created. That's exactly why religion has been created.
Well, it answers things.
It gives us comfort. It gives us hope that we're not alone, that there is something after we leave this world. Yeah, exactly. Gives us a reason for our existence. And I can definitely understand that perspective. And that's what Ellie's trying to figure out throughout this whole movie too, because she's struggling with that. She's like, no, I need scientific proof that your God exists, or else I'm not going to believe it. And then, she goes.
I was gonna say, you can finish.
She goes through this whole, like, it's not a religious experience, but it might as well be for her, because it's her own experience and nobody else believes her.
And that's what Jesus is to people.
Exactly.
It's a personal thing. Yeah.
It's the whole Occam's razor thing that they talk about before, because she gives it to him earlier, and he just says, like, he just does, and then later when she's on trial, she's doing the exact same thing that he was doing earlier. But this brings up one of my gripes.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why didn't they put somebody else into the fucking thing and drop it after she came back? Like, it fell into the water.
Was it a one-time thing?
Yeah, you spent $1 trillion on this fucking thing. Do another person. Send another person out there.
She asked the alien at the end, like, can we do this again? And he says, not for a while. Like,
that's what
small steps.
Mm-hmm.
But
whatever.
They didn't try.
I don't know.
That's one thing I'm like.
I'm curious.
Sign the next person up. Send the next person.
A lot of
they're afraid that somebody could die. I think again, like, they're more worried about, like, somebody dying where she's not. She's willing to risk her life. She's literally willing to risk her own life to figure this, if this will work.
And they're
they know something happened though.
Well, they don't. I mean, at the end they do.
18 minutes of static. Yeah.
18 hours.
Right. Like 18 hours.
18 hours. Yeah.
Like, shit. Like.
Right.
Like that's,
which I like it, which is cooler than, like,
I like that
18 seconds. Like, all right, that's like a fluke.
Yeah, that's like the
18
drop.
hours of static. Like, that's a good point.
Like how does Ellie not know? Well, I don't know. They just didn't tell her that, but like that's.
I'm sure, like, it's, you got to think about like politics and stuff. Like, she risked her life going through this thing. She was willing to do it. I'm sure someone else maybe would be willing to do it as well, but, like, I don't know. People will believe whatever they see. They saw her just drop straight through, and nothing happened when she dropped through the rings, and they just are like, okay, didn't work, whatever. So they're not gonna do it again. They're not gonna risk somebody else's life to, just prove a point. And they're just writing Ellie off as, like, she had a hallucination or whatever. But they do leave it ambiguous, saying, like, yeah, there was 18 hours of static video on this thing. That is something. So,
they gotta send another Contact 2. Send another person through.
No, this is one where it's like you're led to believe it. Like, you can write the rest of that story, because, like, we were there, we saw the aliens, and they explained. They had a little world building. It was cool. Like, it was technology that was given to us before us. Like,
I also imagine, like,
where they went,
these wormholes, these channels, these paths, whatever she traveled through, are controlled by someone. So maybe if they did it again, it wouldn't work. It might not work.
Out into space.
Right. It might not work the same way that it did the first time. So I don't know. Yeah. It was interesting. The whole like dream, like, alien sequence was interesting because they didn't show what the actual aliens looked like. Like, this was just like a manifestation of what would, because, like, I'm trying to think of, there's another movie that did this, like, a way for her brain to understand what she was seeing. Like, if she saw what they actually looked like, her brain might not be able to process it, and she might go, like, insane or whatever. I'm thinking of, like, The Matrix or something.
Awesome.
But, like, yeah, so they presented it in a way that her brain could understand with her dad,
which
and
is
her
what
and
angels
Pensacola
do,
and everything.
right?
Exactly. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool,
it's a cool
interpretation for sure. They're not just showing these little green men talking to her. That would have been much less interesting if she traveled to this weird alien planet and then a couple little green men were like,
why do you kill each other?
Right, exactly.
Lame. Come on.
It's good. I mean, Carl Sagan's book, like, I kind of want to read this now just to kind of see
Carl Sagan, man, he's
what's
so
in there.
interesting.
To see how close of an adaptation it actually was. Because I mean, I think that's kind of where some of the groundedness comes from, is from, Carl. And I actually wrote down, like, because I didn't know that this was based off of him. And my last note is, who is Carl, with like 8 L's after it.
Carl.
'Cause I was thinking of Carl from Walking Dead. Carl.
Yeah, but Dave, you know who Carl Sagan is, right?
Yeah.
Super cool. He's a major stoner. Did you guys know that?
I'm not surprised.
I could absolutely see that.
He wrote. Yeah, his wife.
Gotta expand his mind.
Still is like pushing for like changing laws and stuff like that, but reformation and stuff like that, and marijuana laws. But he wrote stuff all the time. He said it was like he would just get his brain to think in a certain way, and he would start wondering, because that was like his strength, was just to wonder. Ever wonder what a galaxy is? You know, just goes on to it in a very like, he's like Mr. Rogers for space or something like that. Just,
do you know what really
some of those old ones?
Interesting.
You know what really fucked me up one time? I don't know. This for some reason, you talking about this made me think of this. One time I was watching like a Neil deGrasse Tyson thing.
Yeah, the Cosmos. I mean, that's what Carl Sagan, he hosted it now.
Yeah, and he said, like, he put it in perspective, like, if the entire history of the universe could fit in one calendar year, the span of humanity would be the first second of the first, day of the first year. That's how little time humanity has been existing in this universe.
Right.
Like, putting it in that perspective, just like, it just blows
takes
my mind.
1 second. Any other that came like any time before us, and that's like another civilization that's not like
right.
That's all it takes.
There is an incredible YouTube video that shows time on Earth. It's well animated. It's got a great narrator to it. It's called the channel's like called In a Nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And the video's like time. So if you look that up, you'll see this awesome video, and the way it shows time and like our moment, and then like when pyramids were made, when dinosaurs existed, when Earth, like all that stuff, super interesting. And it just it gives you a good perspective on like humanity on this planet and how fragile we are, and like we got to get our shit together. We got to be nice to each other. We got to take care of the planet that we're on, because we don't know how long we can last on this thing. I don't know where we going. It's
just why I think us knowing about aliens is a good thing, because maybe it'll get everybody to fucking unite.
Yes,
like everybody
dude.
Maybe. You think in today's modern society that's gonna unite people together?
I mean, it worked in The Watchmen. I don't know.
I'm just thinking like all those like Jake Busey's character in this movie, the religious zealots, that are like trying to sabotage the any research or anything that goes against their beliefs and what they hold like true. This is the one true God. Anything else is blasphemy, Like, there are people out there that think like that, and those are kind of the people that will drag us down.
That's why, I mean, you need irrefutable evidence. You need a UFO over the White House and aliens being like, "What up, yo?" Hanging out the window.
Even then, it's like, I don't know. The people could still deny it in some way.
I like that scene where she's in the car and the news is broken to the world.
Yeah.
And she's just looking out the window of all the different kinds of people and how they're reacting to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, tons of different, everyone has a stage. I mean, yeah, you see that crazy guy preaching and stuff like that, and they make eye contact, which is cool, because in that scene she rolls her window up, and as she rolls it up, it reflects in him. They're like looking at each other.
That was a good shot.
So she gets a good look at him, so it makes sense. It's like she saw him one time. She kept seeing this guy, like, how do you not, like, look at him? He's like super tall, blonde, and gala teeth. Yeah. Wow. Yep.
And then, well, speaking of that shot, you sent that link in Discord today about the shot when she's a little girl.
They call it the impossible shot.
There are some really cool things that they did camera work wise and just shot wise. It looks like it is her running at the
when her dad
camera.
dies, it goes in slow mo and she's running
towards the
camera.
But then they fake it and they put that onto the medicine cabinet with like a green screen. Is that how they did it?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so when she opens up the mirror, it's the mirror of her running at the camera. It's kind of mind melting.
It is trippy. The first time I saw it, yeah, because it like the transition into the mirror.
Yeah, she shuts it and it goes to the shot of her and her dad, like the
slowly.
picture.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that was cool.
And now that I know that it's green screen, I guess it's a lot easier to make that shot. But that is some fucking wizardry of the camera.
And for like 1997, all the shots of the big station
CG
out in the back,
pretty good. Yeah,
pretty good. I think the floating compass was kind of wishy-washy towards the end, but like everything else around it, I thought was pretty impressive.
There was the one shot when they were down in like the jungle in the very beginning, where you could tell that they were very definitely sitting on a set, and they had like a big painting behind them. I was like, is this gonna be like this whole movie? But no, like most of the stuff that after that, like everything, I couldn't really tell. It looked like it was all shot on location with real stuff.
Yeah. The only thing was like obviously the big machine was CG, which
looked good.
Looked good, yeah.
Yeah.
Even like the big explosion thing, like a lot of times, like that kind of, you can see the age of things when they're a little bit older. But
I like that. Felt like it reminded me of old 90s sci-fi big budget movie, like the reveal of the station, because like we know it's being made. They finally figure out how it's gonna be made. The aliens sent like some kind of structure that could either do something like, it looks like we could drop somebody and it'll teleport them or whatever. And they start putting it together. But now that there's this massive structure out there, the way they revealed it was like not as good as Jurassic Park when you see like the first dinosaur with next to the trees and stuff like that. But still, like there's a build up. It's like there it is, and it's just like because nowadays
it's fucking huge.
Nowadays everything's just so epic, and I thought that was like because the movie is slow, and to get to this point, it's like all right.
Because at that point we didn't know. Like I was wondering, what does this fucking machine look like? How big is it? I thought it was just gonna be like a little transport ship, and it would blast you off into space. Yeah, but no, it's this fucking huge, crazy twirling ring thing, and you drop a little pod in it. So yeah, I thought that was I agree, that was cool.
Apparently, the visual effects involved, says here, almost every major effects house from the time, with newbies from Sony ImageWorks to Industrial Light and Magic. So,
well, I believe it.
Wow.
I mean, it definitely looked good.
Big budget. What was the budget of this movie? I don't think we said in the beginning.
I think it was 100 something.
Budget was 90. Box office was 171. So it's doubled.
Nice.
Okay.
Which 90 seems high for the amount of like practical, like real life acting and stuff that's in this, but I guess it's 97. You got a lot of the space stuff towards the end gets a little extensive. So
yeah, it reminded me
of
a
lot of the CG there.
Reminded me a little bit of like 2001. Not quite as like when she's going through the wormhole and stuff, and like a lot of trippy shit is happening. Like her face is getting like split off a little bit, and she's seeing all these weird things. It reminded me a little bit of 2001, but not quite as gratuitous, I would say.
Yeah. What did you guys think about they did the same thing that Zemeckis did they did Forrest Gump in 94 and then Contact in 97, but he used the same technique of using real life footage in this one.
I that was cool. Cuz like
I thought
it made it more real.
I liked it too. I agree.
So for like Clinton, did they get like just like generic stock footage of him doing speeches and stuff?
Several shots of President Bill Clinton were used, including a speech in which he discussed the impact of a suspected meteorite from Mars.
Okay.
That doubled nicely for a first contact speech.
Because I was like, there's no way they got Bill Clinton to do a thing for this movie. So they just cut around.
Camera loves me. Which one am I looking at?
They cut around. They cut around real life footage.
Magnet.
Yeah, right.
We know, Bill. We know.
Later.
But even in Forrest Gump, like he like recreated like JFK and stuff for that scene with Tom Hanks and him meeting JFK and everything.
Yeah. Like that was kind of cool how they like you don't see that a lot too, where they reuse some of the
normally
old kind of footage stuff.
It's weird because like Clinton was the president at that time at the time this movie was released, but like Normally, when they do a movie with a president, it's just like a fake president with, an actor or whatever. So it's weird seeing a real life, like, this is period accurate Bill Clinton.
But it was weird. There was only, like, when he was on TV and giving the speech and stuff like that, that looked perfectly fine. But when he goes into, like, the White House and everybody stands up and he sits down, and you can tell that it's him just, like, superimposed with the table behind him, and the guy's sitting there just, like, leaning out. It was a pretty funny one. Like, that one, I chuckled at a little bit. But I think it's a super cool touch, because they had, you had, what did we say? Jay Leno was in it.
Mm-hmm.
We had Larry
King. Yep.
There's a couple other just like random like TV news anchors or whatever. Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe's randomly in it.
Just like popping up
weird
on
character,
TV, Like that was like, and he had maybe like a minute. He's in another scene, but he's just in those two scenes, and that's it.
People talk over him. Yeah, he has like no role really.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean those little touches make it feel a little bit more realistic too. Because they're using real world people that we recognize, and so it does make it feel like this is actually something that happened. So I thought that was pretty effective.
I mean, how many years is it now? It's over 25 years old. 26 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
why do you say it like that?
I mean, quarter of a century. Like this movie, I think this movie held the fuck up. Like
I would say so.
Going back and looking at it,
I think being more grounded, more serious, based off of Carl Sagan's work, it helps it though.
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, even when she put her headset on and with the cameras on and stuff like that, usually that stuff looks ridiculous. That looked pretty bare bones. Mm-hmm. Like it looked like it was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but like that's pretty cool.
It was
like
small enough.
Again, it was still believable. For
those old computers.
Time.
Like, I wonder if the Gen Zers or all those kids would like look at those computers and be like, "What the fuck is that?" Like,
right.
Like Eric, you still remember all those from when you were a kid, but like even the younger kids, like, what's a 3.5-inch floppy? What is that? Some sort of record?
Oh, just saying old tech? Yeah. Well, it is interesting because it's all around us. You go to hit save, it's a old floppy disk.
Right. Yeah, it's just it's synonymous.
But it's like from dated tech, and like nobody uses
Well, it's like the same thing with like the phone icon, like on our smartphones. It still looks like a phone, like an analog phone, but like kids these days don't know what a real phone looks like. They just know what a smartphone looks like.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. I'm looking at it right now on my computer. Yeah, you're right.
There's videos.
The camera is like an old school camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids using like old tech, like kids trying to figure out how to use a rotary phone, and like they got no fucking idea.
They had a rotary phone in this movie too. I noticed that. Jodie Foster.
Did they? Where?
Jodie Foster was. She called someone.
Was it at the hotel or something?
No, it's when she was out in fucking whatever, wherever the satellite was in the beginning. Like, you thought she was gonna call Matthew McConaughey because he left her his number, but she actually called the blind dude, Kent, I think his name was, and she told him like, "Oh, we're gonna start our own thing." But yeah, she was using a rotary phone there. So I thought that was funny.
Classy.
One other thing that I thought was kind of cool was because they put they modified the alien design a little bit to put like safety restraints and harnesses in there when that wasn't in the original design, and like that's the reason like she was feeling all these crazy vibrations is because she was like harnessed into the chair. Because remember,
standing there,
she should just be free floating. Because
I noticed that was a nice touch.
She was feeling those crazy vibrations, and then she unhooked herself, and she was like, because that's the moment when she saw the floating compass, and she noticed like, oh, the compass is just floating there, peacefully still. So she unhooked herself from the chair, and then like not a minute later, the chair fucking like, goes to the ceiling. So if she stayed in that chair, she would have been fucked. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. That's weird. I didn't really make that connection.
But she was arguing. It's just like, don't mess with
what they say. They know what they're doing.
We need to do this. Like, we can't have any more casualties. We need to keep you safe. Like, bottom line is like, this is the most basic thing. You can't argue. we're putting you in this seat. It'll be safe, and that's
Mhm.
it. Cannot debate this. And she was right again. She's
Yeah.
constantly right. But she's like,
Exactly.
why would they go through all this effort just to make something that would like make us
Right. Just trust
like
their
get
design.
injured?
It
Yeah.
is nice that the aliens are so kind. Like they're just like, yo, what up? Like you'll figure it out, little buddy. High fives. Send you back. Like it's not like we're gonna come and
Well, they make a
murder you
good.
for your resources. It's just
They
chill,
say
bro,
that.
aliens.
They say that, and they make a good point. That's like, would we go out of our way to, demolish an anthill in Africa, or whatever? But they come back with a counterpoint, like, would we feel bad about demolishing some anthill in Africa? Which was
Right.
a good counterpoint, but it's like, why would they go through all this trouble just so we could blow ourselves up or whatever,
Right. Yeah. No, it's a movie that gets you thinking, man. I love movies that make you think, even if you're one side or the other, like you can definitely see both sides because in the end, she has nothing but faith in what she saw. And she
Mhm.
sounds just like anybody else who saw the light at the end of the tunnel or discovered Jesus or discover whatever God or thing that they believe in, you know? And a lot of people have this, and now she does in her own way.
Yep.
So it's a good I don't know, it's a good theme, It's a good for people to see both sides and not be so angry at the other. Don't go strapping bombs on you and throwing yourself at people and blowing up. What's wrong with you? Don't do
Chill the
that.
fuck out. Let
Yeah.
everybody
Chill
have
out.
their. Everybody's
keep
allowed to have their own shit.
the world does not belong to you.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
I got.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna close out my side. Jodie Foster has said that she's met a lot of people that this movie, like women that this movie has inspired to like women to get into STEM, women to get into other stuff. I thought that was just a random cool thing that, throw in there. It's just that I guess this, like for the time, I guess this movie wasn't made earlier because audiences couldn't really, their brains couldn't grasp that there was a woman without kids or a husband. And that.
Wait, what? Really?
This movie was apparently in production hell for a while, but like the fact that this came out so long ago and she's just like an independent, strong woman and she inspired people to get like inspired women to get into like science and technology. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like,
well, I was thinking that, a little bit too, because like she is this strong female lead. She's the head of this, huge science project, this huge discovery that could change the course of humanity. But there is this man opposing her in Drumlin,
stealing her shit.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So
like when she has to go and say like, I don't believe in God, I need proof, and then the guy's like, oh, I believe in God.
Right.
I believe in God. I believe in humans.
There's always this man, this other figure man opposing her. So
yeah.
But I think in the end, I mean, Drumlin gets
but
we know his fate, but.
Yeah, but McConaughey does the same thing. He has the ability to make one thing.
Yeah.
He can say one thing and get her. I mean, he's doing it for love. He ultimately is doing it because he cares about her, and they have a connection. But still, it's just like, dude, like you keep interfering with her life. It saves her life, but she still was, trying to be the one to be picked in the competition to be sent to talk to the aliens. But
yeah,
thank God for the creepy old man.
But yeah, no, good for her. And it's a good role. I still think it fails the Bechdel test. I don't think there's one scene where she talks to another female that's not about a man. She may have talked to
the lady in Congress or the president's helper lady,
Angela Bassett.
Yeah, they had a very professional relationship.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
But one thing that this again, I don't know if this relates to the Bechdel test, but always when there's a man and a woman, like Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster's character, when they first met, they kissed and they hopped right into bed with each other.
Oh
and
yeah,
like,
quick,
dude.
Why?
They're laying in bed and she's just sitting there staring at him. Like,
I know.
At his face. I'm like, dude, this is creepy, Ellie. Like,
and
cling much? Like,
well, also
staring right into his face for so long.
The thing that made her, I mean, whatever. Obviously, she has some issues because her parents died young. But the thing that made her like fall for Matthew McConaughey's character was something her dad said, because he quotes the same thing that her dad said. And at that moment, she's like, oh, I got to bang this dude because he said what my dad said. And so I was like, okay, that's a little.
No, I didn't really put that thing there, but yeah, that's a little kind of creepy.
But whatever. She obviously has some shit she was trying to figure out at that point during the movie. But, you know, it was just something that I noticed. Always, whenever there's a man and a woman together in a movie, they have to end up kissing or hopping into bed together. But
yeah,
whatever. Overall,
all right,
I liked it.
One last thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm raising my hand, and this is not even movie related. Carl Sagan's Cosmos: A Personal Voyage is streaming for free on Apple TV. So
sweet, really?
Is that a series, a movie?
It's his series from 1980. That's like his
it's
Cosmos
really good.
series.
He's so charming.
But I thought I'd throw that out there if anyone here is listening, or if you guys even want to go. I'm probably gonna watch it and fall asleep to his sweet, smooth talking 70s voice tonight. So
you think we should?
Now that I'm kind of pumped to see that.
You think we should send this podcast out into space just to see if any intelligent life out there listens to it?
Hey, they get the internet. They can go to Nomads.
They get the internet. Yeah.
They can go play whatmadgame.com. They know
any aliens out there, go to nomadsoffantasy.com. Get at us.
Who are these nomads?
Well, that's all I got.
Though.
Yep, that's all I got for this movie.
I'm good. Wrap us up.
All right. Yeah, that was a good conversation. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have a little trivia about space and aliens.
Oh boy, that'll be fun.
I'm in.
All right.
Nanu.
All right, we are back to play a game I call
A game.
Space Camp
Yeah.
Orientation.
Oh,
Finally, we get to
Yes.
go.
Well, we're gonna see if you are ready to be
You qualify
shipped
for
out into
space
outer
camp?
space, yeah, or you might be
Okay.
stuck on ground, depending on how you guys answer. So you guys are on the same team,
woo.
Oh,
like you would
okay,
be
even
on a
better.
mission to
Nice.
outer space, right?
It's like
All
double
right.
dare. If we win, we get to go to actual.
I have
space camp.
1, 2, 3, 4,
We get to go
5,
through a wormhole
6,
and
7, 8.
meet some
I
aliens.
I have 8 questions. All you got to do to make it to outer space, is to get more right than you get wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do it.
So we're gonna go 5 and 3. So we get 3 wrong.
Yeah. What happens if we? So we lose if we get only half
4 and
right.
4.
Okay.
All right, ready?
All right. I'm ready.
All right, first question for Space Camp is how many moons are in our solar system?
Ooh. Ooh.
Is it 108
Oh, Jesus Christ.
or 181 moons?
I didn't know it was that many.
Well, we know like Jupiter's got a pile.
Jupiter's
of
got
Saturn.
a lot, but I didn't think
Yeah.
it was that many. I thought it was
That's why
like
I was
I
thinking,
thought it was like
like,
10 or something.
So I think 181 is like crazy high.
What was the other one? 10
108.
something?
108?
Because I
181.
mean, Neptune's probably got a couple. Saturn. Jupiter's
Yeah, I
a
was thinking
bunch.
like obviously we have 1. I was thinking
Mhm.
Jupiter had like 10. I'm trying to think of the space
I
song
don't know about
that
Mars has got a handle. I mean, there's my very educated mother just served us 9 pizza pies. Is that what you're
Pizza
thinking?
pies.
No, I'm thinking of I don't know.
Pizzas, pizza pies,
There's some
whatever.
Pink Fong song that my son used to listen to about the planets, and it told me how many moons Jupiter had. But
Oh, wow.
it was a lot of them.
That's why I'm leaning
all
towards
right, 108. Let's do it. Yeah,
I think.
let's go with 108.
Oh, it is 181.
181. So you're gonna name them all?
Whoa.
Nope.
181.
All right, so
that is
hold
a bit-
on,
that's a
smarty
bit much.
pants. Yeah, this is the I forgot to mention this is the space category. Aliens will be next.
Okay,
Alright,
Jupiter has 90 between
get
80.
out of there.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Get
am
out
I?
of there.
Okay,
Get out of
sorry.
there. Get out of
I
there.
didn't know
What
that
did
was
you-
related. I didn't know there was another moon question happening.
You know you're not allowed to look at your phone.
I was just curious how many
What
moons
did you
Jupiter
just-
had.
What did you just learn?
Disqualified.
I learned how the approximate number of moons Jupiter had
Which was?
between 80 and 95.
Yes, you're right. Okay, that was. Hold on, that was one of mine.
We're down to 7 questions. Damn it.
I'm sorry,
No, hold on.
I ruined it.
Hold on a second.
I was just curious how
We're
many
gonna,
moons.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on the fly here.
All
Okay,
right.
we'll do it live.
Okay, we'll do it live. We're gonna do Saturn. How many?
Okay, all right.
Because there's so many. How many moons does Saturn have?
Okay.
Saturn's got the rings. Like, I wouldn't think they would
Alright.
have a lot of moons.
Is it 92
Ooh.
or 146?
I'm going to say,
Whoa.
based on the
Saturn?
knowledge that I just learned
Saturn?
about Jupiter,
Is it 92
I'm going to say
or
92.
146?
It's got to be 92 because, yeah.
Based on what I just learned about Jupiter, means it has to be 92.
Saturn has 146 moons in its orbit.
That doesn't make any sense.
Then how are there only 181 in
I don't know.
in the solar system?
This is on NASA's website.
NASA.
That's bull.
Read that.
I'm calling bullshit.
As of June 8th, 2023.
Then, okay, so if Saturn has 146 and Jupiter has between 80 and 95,
How many
181 add up in our solar system? That math doesn't check out.
Nonsense.
Well, now I gotta check that stat.
Recount.
Well, now okay. Oh my goodness, there might be up to 752
Moons in our solar system?
moons.
Holy
So there's 200,
shit.
290 of the traditional moons. and then small body moons that are like asteroids, Kuiper Belt, and so forth in that area. They have moons. Apparently, they have 462. Added together, 752.
What?
All right.
That's insane.
Hold on a second, though. But then I see like something, I don't know, 181. I see. So that number's all over the place. All right, so hold on a second. You guys are doing all right. So we just got washed here. Hold on a second. So I think it's you guys.
I think it's 1-1. We got one, we lost one.
Are we good with that? I feel like I gave you wrong information.
Whatever.
Should we just scrap those and do
now it's best of 6.
Best of 6?
Right,
yeah.
We're back best of 6. All right. Well, Chautauqua County. Okay. All right. How
Jeopardy.
old is the universe?
Oh, good question.
Universe? What?
Okay. What are my options?
All right. Your options are 13.8 billion or 18.2 billion years.
It's a lot. It's a lot of billions.
I think 13 billion sounds right. I feel like I've heard 13 before.
It's a lot of billions, but that's... How long has Earth been around? Earth's been around for a couple bills.
Has it been, or has it been Mill? Bill or Mill? I don't know. I don't know the bills.
I think
Earth is definitely billions of years old.
I don't.
But yeah, because it was. I mean,
know.
you're talking about the time for the planet to cool down, the time for it to form its crust and make dirty, hairless.
Well, I'm not going to look anything up because now.
Yeah. All right.
I kind of think it's older.
You want to lean towards 18? All right, let's lean towards 18.
Sure. 18.
It's 13.8. Aaron goes right.
Let's do it.
13.8 sounds good, huh?
13 sounded right for some reason.
Not too old, not too young. That's a lot of billions.
And we're not going to space camp at this rate.
Which Apollo mission was the last where people landed on the moon? I will not be giving the answer to this because I can't just give it.
How many Apollos are there?
I would just say.
So you know, there's a movie.
Apollo 13, they didn't land on the moon. So Apollo 11 is my guess.
11?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did we land on the moon?
Few. Definitely a bunch.
I honestly don't know how many Apollo missions there are. Apollo 11, I think, is the Neil Armstrong one. So that's what I would say.
But what was the last mission where we sent people to the moon since then?
Apollo one?
Yeah, if 11 was the first time we did it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what Apollo, how many
13.
there are. So, I don't know.
13, 14, there you go.
Yeah, but is there, though? I don't know.
Is there an Apollo 36?
Yeah, I don't know how many there are. Apollo 15. I don't know.
Well, if 13 is the Tom Hanks movie, right?
Yeah, 13 is the Tom Hanks one. They didn't land on the moon. They just slingshot around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll help you out. I'll see how many there were.
It's gonna be like 20 something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh man, there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a lot. Uh.
14 in total from 1961 to 1972.
Let's go 12 then. If 13 we know they didn't, and 14
they might have on 14 though. I don't know.
They might have 14, yeah.
There are 14 missions.
12 or 14.
It's probably 12 or 14. But my thing is like, did we land on the moon after Apollo 11? I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say, did we land on the moon at all? I was about to
did we land on the? Did we actually land on the moon at all?
Well, that's a whole other episode, brother.
Holy shit! That you can wear your tinfoil hat too, Brandon.
I honestly don't.
Yes, maybe 14 now, kind of, because
I honestly don't know if like has the Apollo missions, the United States landed on the moon more than once.
Yeah, they got to put
Yes.
like
Yes, they
sensors
did.
and other shit up there, like sensors and reflectors and.
Okay, so
Well, the first time we went, we weren't going golfing and driving around on rovers. First time we went, took a step, planted a flag, and we got the fuck out of there.
I say, yeah, I think
Second time we
14s.
went, did stuff.
I thought they did bring golf clubs the first time.
Not the first. I don't think that was the first one. No, not the first time.
They're not that gallivanting.
What do you mean? Neil Armstrong was an avid golfer.
Look at us.
I
think 14's probably right. I don't know.
So, do you think after Apollo 13? I don't.
Like one more. Let's give it one more try. I don't remember what happened in Apollo 13. Why were they supposed to land on the moon?
Yes, it was like a catastrophic failure, and they had to abort the mission and find some way back to Earth.
So they must have gone back again and been like, "All right, let's try this shit again."
This
time we'll bring our golf clubs.
So it looks like not all Apollo missions landed, though.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
There's 6 of them that did it, though.
There's 6 of them? What? Doesn't make any sense. If you're telling me there's 14...
Space information is all over the place, but like...
If you're telling me Apollo 11's the first time they landed on the moon, and you're telling me they landed 6 times, but there's only 14 missions. That makes no sense.
Hey, it's science.
But
I'm reading the Apollo program, and it says there were 14 missions total during the Apollo program.
And maybe they just landed and dropped off the cooler at Coors Light.
6 out of those 14 humans walked on the moon.
I say 14's got to be it. Let's get past this question.
I just want to know. I want to know the facts.
I know we're doing a little this is a little education here, right? Oh shit, I don't know. I'm reading about the Apollo mission right now, and it says, listen to this, dude. This is interesting shit. Apollo ran from 1961 to 1972 with the first crewed flight in 1968. It encountered a major setback in 1967 when an Apollo 1 cabin fire killed the entire crew during a pre-launch test.
Shit.
Jeez.
Space is dangerous.
Budget cuts forced the cancellation of 3 of these. 5 of the remaining 6 missions achieved successful landings, but the Apollo 13 landing was prevented by an oxygen tank explosion in the transit to the moon.
So 14 then. Just go with 14.
Yeah. All right. Well, the answer was 17. Apollo 17.
You just said there was 14 missions.
I don't know what the numbers must not go in order. I don't know what to tell you.
Like they go in order.
I don't think
there's
numbers
are.
I don't think there's an Apollo 8 though. Maybe.
How are we supposed to know that?
I don't know any of this. I just thought I would look up these things.
That is a win for us.
All right.
I can't with this quiz.
We're back to best of 4 now.
Apollo 1, Apollo 4, Apollo 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 13, 14. No. 15, 16, 17. But they skipped.
That's more than 14.
Yeah, we got that. We got this.
So unless it was the successful,
there's no 2 and 3.
Are those
Wikipedia?
Are those the ones that blew up or something?
Or the ones that was delayed were budget cuts or whatever, like you just said. Probably.
Well,
I don't know. All right.
So Apollo 17's the answer, and we got it wrong.
Let's cut through the bullshit here. All right. Can you name me 3 moons in our solar system? Can you name that are not Earth's moon?
Not the moon?
Yeah.
Not the moon.
Do we only have 3 guesses, or can we just start rambling them off?
I just want to see if you can come up with 3
I only know like 1. Titan is 1. That's one of Jupiter's moons.
Oh, it's a good one. Jupiter's got all the moons that we know. Come on. 2 other ones that are popular.
I know more, yeah. I know more of them, but I can't think of them.
Pluto's got a moon.
Pluto's definitely a planet, too.
Don't think Pluto has 2 moons.
Oh, shit.
Well, it is a planet.
We should know this, because there's...
They have to be
so many
based on
moons named after Greek mythology. That's what I was going to say. So, like, Isis is probably a moon.
I guess I didn't think about this, where you could just throw out like Greek names or something like that.
Pick a moon, bro. There's probably a moon called Titan, Isis. How about
Hades?
it's probably like Pericles or Icarus or
Sure, some of these are right.
yeah, I bet you some of them are. You got your wiki up there? You got your moon list?
Apparently there's like 792 moons or something like that, dude.
I think
don't
we
have
got
This
all of
quiz.
them.
I think we got this one too.
Hold on. No, I want to hear 3. You gave me Titan. Give me 2 more that you
I
that
think.
you can
I
definitively
think.
name.
I honestly
like you know is
think
right.
Hades is one. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that's right. But I can't.
So a good game.
Hades is a good game. Hades 2 coming out. God, I forgot about that.
When is that? Is that this year or next year?
I don't even know. I don't know if they announced a release date, but
Pluto has 5 moons.
33 Immortals is what we got.
Oh yeah.
Forward to. That'll be fun. Multiplayer
Yeah.
Hades.
Pluto has 5 moons. That's crazy.
Is one of them named Hades?
Is Hades a moon or not?
I don't see a moon called.
Is Hades a moon? Here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, so we're wrong already.
But you can guess.
The Hades moon is a term used in astrology to describe the placement of a moon in the natal chart that is aspected by Pluto.
I don't have any other guesses. Let's stop dragging this out.
How about Isis?
No, I couldn't. That's not a moon.
No.
Titan's the only one I know.
I thought you would know Io.
Oh,
yeah.
Io's the one that's got all the active volcanoes and stuff. And then Europa, because that's the one where they have all the ice and shit. Like the fire and the ice.
I mean, now that you're saying them, yes, I've heard of them before.
And
but
Titan.
couldn't come up with those off the top of my head.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Astrology.
We're not going to space camp.
Hold on. You can redeem yourselves. You get alien questions.
All right.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
What U.S. president once reported seeing a UFO? Was it John F. Kennedy, Jimmy Carter, or George W. Bush?
Oh. Bush sounds like he would.
I was just gonna say the exact same thing. So that's definitely something that he would say.
Is that an enemy or is that a UFO?
Because
that was pretty good.
I think it would be a bigger.
I don't know.
I could see it happening during Kennedy's time, but I think it would be a bigger thing if he did say that he saw it. Jimmy Carter.
I don't know.
So.
Bush
I like Bush.
Yeah, go with Bush.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
January 1969 in the skies near Leary in southwestern Georgia.
You're swinging and missing on all these.
Damn.
Yep. In which year was the UFO first used?
The term?
Yeah, I wrote that down. But when did the term UFO first get used? Was it 1943, 1953, 1958?
What were the options?
43, 53, 58.
When was Roswell? That was 50s, right?
Yes, I believe so.
53.
I would say it's probably before then, though.
Yeah, you think so? Roswell might have been late 50s.
I think 43, because I mean, we got. When was World War II start? 42.
Yeah.
I think that, aliens. There are a weird anomaly between UFO sightings and military conflicts. It does happen fairly often.
What was the 41?
43.
The first option?
43, 53, 58.
43 just seems too early. But maybe. It's better.
Oh, we've been wrong the entire time.
Yeah.
We're definitely not going to fucking space camp.
So don't go with what you think it is. Go with something else. It's not 43.
I said 53 if that was the other option.
53? 53 is correct. Good job, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, because here's the last question. Are you ready? Which year did the Roswell incident happen in New Mexico? Was it 1947, 1957, or 60.
I think it was the 50s. I want to say 57.
1947.
47 sounds too early.
57.
57 sounds right.
1960.
Sure, 57. Because I figure, if it's in the news and people are talking about it, that's probably what they coined the phrase shortly after.
Happened in 1947.
Seriously? Wow. Oh my gosh. I thought it was 50s for sure.
So what were they describing? They weren't saying UFO right away. They didn't use UFO
it
for
wasn't
60 years.
It wasn't a UFO. It was a crashed FO. Or
an
unidentified crashed object.
My note says that the U.S. Air Force is who coined the term UFO in 1953. 6 years after.
Maybe they just didn't. Maybe they just didn't have a term for it at that point.
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't sound like you guys are going to space.
No, definitely not.
Outer space. We're going on the missions with aliens.
That was really. That was brutal.
That was pretty rough. We never know with these games. All right, well, we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Send us home, Eric.
Let's wrap us up. If you want to follow us at Nomads of Fantasy, Twitter and Instagram, you can follow us there at Nomads of Fantasy. You can join our Discord, the nomadsofantasy.com/Discord if you want.
Yeah, it's casual. Our Discord's super casual.
Yeah,
people are
hop in there.
We're chill, pop in.
We're talking about gaming. We're talking about movies. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. We got our, What Map Game, whatmapgame.com. You can post your results in there for your guesses. What else? We're talking about Marvel Snap in there sometimes.
New Ghostbusters
all kinds
movie.
of stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun time in there. Cool people in there too.
And memes. We like memes. So if you find any good ones.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For them.
Can check out our merch too. Go to nomadsfantasy.com. There's a merch link there. Check that out. Got mugs, t-shirts, all the normal stuff. Yeah. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Seismic Cinema in our Twitch chat. They messaged us and said, "Evening, lads. Hope you're doing well. Just popped in to say you all have haunting Joker laughs."
Oh boy, yeah.
That was good.
That was pretty good. That was a fun episode. I like that one.
Dave has his Joker laugh perfected over there.
I'm working on it.
It was good. But all right, yeah, it was fun. I think I covered everything. That's all I got. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else?
Hang loose, bros.
Yeah, Dave's gonna be out next week, so it might
Journey
just be
to the West.
Yep,
that's what's up next on the calendar.
I'll follow us. Watch some Journey to the West. I don't know. That's all I got. Sure. I don't know why I'm hanging so long on this ending, but
just give them the line. Just give them the line. That's what they came for.
Yeah, as always, safe travels, nomads.
Oh. So smooth.
So smooth.